For more than 2,000 years, humanity has been staring at a locked door. And strangely enough, nobody wants to open it. Think about that for a moment. We have explored the deepest trenches of the ocean. We have walked on the moon. We have sent spacecraft beyond the edge of our solar system. Yet beneath a quiet hill in central China lies a tomb so mysterious, so potentially dangerous that generation after generation has chosen to leave it untouched. No, this is not the Great Pyramid of Giza. It is not Atlantis. It is not a lost city hidden beneath the jungle. It is the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. Most people know it for one reason: the terracotta army. Thousands of life-sized clay soldiers stand silently in formation, guarding their emperor in death just as they once would have in life. Millions travel across the world to see them. Documentaries celebrate them. History books call them one of the greatest archaeological discoveries ever made. But here is where the story takes an unexpected turn. The terracotta army may not be the real discovery at all. Imagine standing outside a modern airport and believing the parking lot is the main attraction. The soldiers are extraordinary, but they are located outside the emperor's central burial chamber. In archaeological terms, they may represent only the outer defenses of something far larger. And that raises a disturbing question. If these soldiers were built to guard something, what exactly were they guarding? Because the emperor's actual burial chamber remains completely sealed. No archaeologist has entered it. No camera has seen inside it. No one knows exactly what waits beyond its walls. For over 2,200 years, the heart of China's most famous tomb has remained hidden beneath the earth. And according to ancient records, what lies inside sounds almost impossible. More than 2,000 years ago, the historian Sima Qian recorded a remarkably detailed description of the emperor's underground palace. According to his account, workers dug deep beneath the earth and constructed an enormous underground kingdom. Palaces, government halls, mountains of treasure. The ceiling was decorated to resemble the night sky, filled with stars and constellations. And most astonishing of all, rivers and seas were said to flow through the tomb, not with water but with liquid mercury. For centuries, many scholars dismissed these descriptions as exaggeration. Ancient historians were known to blend fact with legend. The story sounded too fantastic to be taken seriously. An underground empire, a ceiling filled with stars, rivers of mercury. It sounded less like history and more like science fiction. Then something unexpected happened. Modern technology began investigating the tomb. Without opening it, researchers used ground-penetrating radar, geological surveys, and chemical analysis to study what lies beneath the mound. What they discovered surprised everyone. The underground complex appears remarkably well preserved. Even more intriguing, unusually high concentrations of mercury have been detected in the soil surrounding the central chamber. The distribution of that mercury appears to correspond with waterways described in the ancient texts. Suddenly, historians found themselves asking a different question. Not, was Sima Qian exaggerating? But Handel, how much of his story was actually true? Because if he was right about the mercury, what else might he have been right about? The deeper researchers look, the stranger the mystery becomes, so why not simply open the tomb? After all, modern archaeology has explored pyramids, shipwrecks, and entire cities buried beneath volcanic ash. Surely one more excavation cannot be that difficult. The reality is far more complicated. Most people assume archaeologists refuse to open the tomb because of mercury, or hidden traps, or collapsing chambers. But those are engineering problems, and engineering problems can eventually be solved. Technology improves every year. Preservation methods become more advanced. Protective equipment becomes more sophisticated. The deeper issue may be something else entirely. Opening the tomb is a one-way decision. Once the seal is broken, the original state of the mausoleum disappears forever. No future generation will ever have the opportunity to study it untouched. The first concern is preservation. Archaeologists have learned painful lessons from the past. Some artifacts begin deteriorating almost immediately after exposure to air. Even sections of the terracotta army lost traces of their original paint shortly after excavation. Researchers fear the central chamber could contain priceless relics that current technology is still unable to preserve adequately. The second concern is environmental risk. If large quantities of mercury exist inside the tomb, disturbing the site could create contamination risks that remain difficult to predict. And the third concern is perhaps the most important. There is no second chance. One mistake could destroy information that has survived for more than 2 millennia. Yet the mystery goes beyond archaeology. To understand the tomb, we must understand the man who built it. Qin Shi Huang was not an ordinary ruler. He unified rival kingdoms and established the first imperial dynasty in Chinese history. He standardized writing, currency, measurements, road systems. His influence helped shape China for thousands of years, but he was also consumed by one obsession: immortality. He spent enormous resources searching for an elixir of eternal life. He dispatched expeditions in search of mythical lands. He consulted alchemists, scholars, and mystics. Death was the one enemy he could never conquer. And perhaps that is why his tomb was designed not as a grave, but as a world. An underground empire where his rule could continue forever. An empire guarded by soldiers, surrounded by palaces, protected by secrets waiting in darkness. For more than 2,000 years, that darkness has remained undisturbed. Empires have risen, empires have fallen, wars have reshaped continents. Entire civilizations have disappeared into history. Yet beneath the earth, the first emperor's underground kingdom remains silent, waiting, watching, unchanged. Perhaps one day humanity will finally enter that hidden world. Perhaps future archaeologists will discover treasures beyond imagination. Perhaps they will uncover lost knowledge, forgotten technology, or secrets that rewrite history itself. Or perhaps they will find something much simpler. But before that day arrives, there is a more important question. Not whether we can open the tomb, whether we should. Because once a mystery is solved, it can never become mysterious again. Once a sealed chamber is opened, it can never truly be closed. And once the past reveals its final secrets, there is no way to return them to the darkness. Perhaps the greatest mystery is not what lies inside Qin Shi Huang's tomb. Perhaps the greatest mystery is us. Why are we so desperate to know? Why do humans feel compelled to open every door, solve every puzzle, and uncover every secret? Maybe the greatest treasure hidden beneath that hill is not gold, not mercury, not lost technology. Maybe it is the mystery itself. A reminder that despite all our science, all our knowledge, and all our confidence, there are still things in this world we do not fully understand. And perhaps that is exactly why the tomb continues to fascinate us. Not because of what we know lies inside, but because of what we don't. Until that ancient door is finally opened, the first emperor's greatest secret remains undefeated, silent, patient, waiting beneath the earth, beneath history, beneath our endless curiosity.